Hey everyone, Coach Investor back with another video for you today. So let's talk about Facebook. I know a pretty controversial company, lots of scandals surrounding it, but the business itself is a pretty good business. In my opinion, Facebook is probably going to be one of the best investments in the next couple of years. They are, I think, 8% of that $1 trillion market valuation. I've talked about Facebook being the next $1 trillion company, I think a couple of months ago, if not almost a year ago. Those videos will be in the top right corner. But in this video, we're going to talk about what will make Facebook an even bigger and better company in the future. They're heavily investing in commerce, the creator economy, VR and AR. Not just VR, AR for the gaming world, but for so much more. So we're going to discuss all of that in this video. But before I do so, I just want to thank everyone that has been subscribing lately. We're on our way to 16,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you like these videos, leave it an early thumbs up as it really helps our grow the channel and get my videos out there. I would also like to thank the Motley for sponsoring this video. The Motley is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me find the latest growth stock and innovative company. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services, the Full Offers. Through the Motley Fool's Stock Advisor service, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have returned over 500%. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more this year, you can visit www.fool.com/couchinvestor or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if Stock Advisor is right for you. Now let's dive into this. Alright, first a quick look at their recent earnings because, well, pretty good, and so you get a better view and overview of what's going on with Facebook. Then a couple of key points from the earnings call, and we'll lead into this video like that. Alright, so first we have the Facebook daily active users at 1.87 billion. Now for those that still say, oh, I'm not using Facebook, who's using Facebook anyways these days? I think these numbers speak for themselves. Facebook monthly active user, 2.85 billion. That's, I think, 30% of the world's population. So if you keep hearing this sentence, nobody's using Facebook anymore, I'm not on Facebook, blah, 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 they are probably lying. Now, Facebook average revenue per user is also growing each and every year. Yes, Q4 was a bit higher, but this is for worldwide, 9.24. Obviously, when you go look at the US or Europe, much higher, but then again, you have those other companies around the world where you cannot really monetize them as much as Western countries. Now looking at revenue, which sits at $26.17 billion, up 48% since last year. So yes, Facebook, even though it's almost a $1 trillion company, can still grow its revenue 48% year over year. Pretty insane. Now, like I said in the intro, most of it comes from advertising and then this little part here from the other segment. But even that little part here has been growing very fast. And last point before we move into the earnings call, the expenses. So I want to focus on this one right here, research and development, which is this color right here. It really stays flat between, let's take an average of 20%. Now, as we've seen before, Facebook's revenue has been growing each and every year, but still research and development, which is R&D, stays at 20%, which means that their spending on R&D has been increasing as well each and every year. Now look at this picture right here. Can you show me another company that has an increase of revenue like Facebook each and every year and as well increases R&D as aggressively as they are? I don't think you'll find a lot of companies that can do this. Now let's jump real quick into the earnings call to find some interesting topics for this video. So the main topics we're going to talk about is what Mark said in his intro. In today's call, I'm going to talk about the opportunities we're pursuing in augmented reality, virtual reality, and around commerce, business messaging, and creators. So first I want to talk about the e-commerce part because that one really blew my mind. I didn't really know this. So he continues by saying, I'm pleased to share that today more than 1 billion people visit Marketplace each month. We're investing in building for the future of commerce. We launched shops last year, and I recently shared there are now more than 1 million monthly active shops and over 250 million monthly shops visitors. Now the next part I didn't know at all. I heard some rumors, but I didn't know this was already such a big thing. They're also focused on building more native commerce tools across apps, recently updated WhatsApp catalogs so businesses can keep them updated from their computers and to include what's in stock. We launched cards on WhatsApp last year and people have used them to spend orders more than 5 million times. He continues, we're also building out broader infrastructure to support commerce, everything from payments to customer service and support. WhatsApp payments is now live in India and we've gotten approval in Brazil to launch shortly too. Now I knew Facebook was big on commerce, but I didn't know they already took those little steps with WhatsApp payments, WhatsApp cards and everything. Pretty impressive, and this is just the beginning. Now touching back on the other segments, which is the augmented and virtual reality, he says here, I believe that augmented and virtual reality are going to enable a deeper sense of presence in social connection than any existing platform. And they're going to be an important part of how we interact with computers in the future. And this is where he makes his points again. So we're going to keep investing heavily in building out the best experiences here, and this accounts for a major part of our overall R&D budget growth, like we've just seen. Now touching back on the point I made at the start of this video regarding Facebook's revenue stream, saying that most of it comes from advertising and then a small part from the other. This is why they're heavily investing in all those areas. Now look at this picture. You can see that all the other huge companies out there have way more revenue streams than Facebook. So screenshot this picture and look at it back in 10 years and then compare it. You will see that Facebook's revenue streams will be much more diversified. Now Mark Zuckerberg has been talking about VR and AR for the last couple of years, and that's probably one of their biggest projects right now and his personal project as well. Obviously they bought Oculus a couple of years back. There were rumors surrounding them buying Unity as well. By the way, if you don't know, Facebook is building this metaverse virtual reality world called Horizon. Horizon is being built on Unity. By the way, if you are an Oculus user or whatever, if you have any feedback, please leave it down in the comments below. And if you haven't tried out Horizon, please go and try it out and let me know what you think about it. Or if you can't, maybe look at some YouTube videos. It's pretty cool. There are actually Facebook employees inside this virtual world to guide you around and help you maybe settle yourself inside this virtual world, which is pretty insane. Now, Facebook is also working obviously on the next generation of Oculus. Oculus Quest 2 is already a pretty good one, because before, when you wanted to go into virtual reality, you had huge headsets, wires everywhere. You couldn't really immerse yourself into that world. Now it's without any wires, so pretty good, but it still may be a bit uncomfortable to wear it on your head, but they're already working on the next generation of those VR glasses. Now they are also working on augmented reality, but this is way more difficult to do because you will need to put so much computing power and tech inside things like this. Because if you want augmented reality to become mainstream, you will need to produce something like this. You've probably seen it in Spider-Man when he gets his Edit glasses, Tom Holland that is. Pretty cool. I think that this is probably the end goal. It's probably going to take 10 years, maybe even more to reach that goal. For this year, beginning next year, there should be a Facebook/Rayban AR glasses partnership going on. Not so sure with the timeline, but that's what I've heard. End of this year, beginning of next year, so stay tuned for that. But actually what Facebook is really looking for is producing something like this. Wristbands for AR, basically exploration of wrist haptic feedback, which is way less intrusive, would be probably way more comfortable to use, maybe even better to use because it's with your wrist, very natural movements. But this obviously again is going to take years of research, development, tweaking, testing it out. But this is really where Facebook wants to go. Now you might ask yourself, why are they focusing so much on this segment, since it's going to take them years of developing and maybe even more years to actually get some revenues from that. So here are the projections of the virtual and the augmented market until 2028. So the global virtual reality market size was valued at $15.81 billion in 2020 and is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 18% from 2021 to 28, which will be $69.6 billion. Now, the global augmented reality market size was valued at $17.67 billion in 2020 and is expected to expand at a CAGR of 43.8% from 2021 to 2028. So pretty aggressive, with it reaching $340.16 billion by 2028. So I hope this shows you really why they are focusing so much on this. This is not just AR, VR for gaming. This is going to be AR, VR for maybe real estate, engineering, aerospace, healthcare, e-commerce. There are going to be so many use cases for this. It's going to take a while, but it's going to be worth it. Now, another major reason, and that's just my opinion, I think what Facebook is really going to try and do is replace the way we use our smartphone and our laptops. Right now, both of them are physical devices that you need to put in your pocket, etc. But what if with augmented reality, you can have your smartphone as a wristband, because it's going to be augmented anyways. Or if you have AR glasses, you can call someone with just a touch of your glass, or just maybe speak, and that's it. What if Facebook is tapping into that smartphone and laptop market without everyone even noticing it? Obviously, it's going to take a while, but let's take Apple for example. Apple, if we look at this right here at Hypercharts, last quarter they made $47.9 billion in iPhone revenue, 7.8 in iPad, 9.10 in Mac, which resulted in $64.84 billion just for those three segments. Now imagine if Facebook can take 10% of that in the next couple of years. Obviously, that doesn't mean that Apple isn't going towards AR and VR and making their own thing. Just saying that Facebook right now is not really in this market. But what if they can tap in this market? I'm taking just 10% of what Apple has done in last quarter for those three segments. That's $6.4 billion. How much was Facebook's revenue for the last quarter? $27 billion. So you can see already a big chunk of revenue going into Facebook. Again, just entering another market. But again, that's just me speculating. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Do you think this is realistic? Facebook going into or going after the smartphone, laptop industry? Let me know down in the comments below. And I think this will be it for this video. I recently added Facebook to my portfolio. I started a position in it. Yes, it goes against maybe ethical values, but the business itself, if they can distance themselves from this whole political social media bullshit platform towards all what we've discussed in this video, I do believe this is going to be one of the best investments in the next 5 to 10 years. Now, obviously, I would like to know your opinion on this, so leave it down in the comments below. And if you like these videos, leave it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, take care, stay safe, and see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.